Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Maiden edition of the Eristic Room right here on Priana TV. I am Vinolia, your host for today. And with me in the studio, I have two teachers who are going to be discussing about the COVID-19 and the reopening of schools. Let's go for a quick commercial break. When we're right back, I'm going to introduce to you our guest for today. Hello, welcome from that quick commercial break. Welcome.
Thank you.
So please tell us your name.
Okay, my name is Achema Eva, a teacher.
My gentleman.
I'm Raphael Amuzwa, a teacher and radio presenter.
Good. So with me here I have Eva and Raphael. We are going to be discussing about COVID-19 and reopening of schools. So ladies first. Eva, I hope you are fine. We are all doing well. So, what do you think about the COVID and reopening schools in this time?
Thank you very much. Okay, so COVID-19 so far has made it clear to us that it has come to stay. On the 16th of March 2020, the president ordered a lockdown, a closure of schools actually. And after almost a year of being home, I think it's about time because we have other countries too that have schools in session. So whatever we think or whatever we don't think, schools have to reopen. We have to go back to school. It's very important. And I think there is nothing like a right time. Now is the right time to do what has to be.
Okay, thank you. Sarah, do you side with her?
Sure. You know, time and tide wait for no man. And we need to move forward in life. Education is also one aspect in life that we can't go without. Therefore, it is very key, very important for the government, for that matter, has to go back to school. Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask, has COVID-19 affected you as teachers?
COVID-19 has affected everybody, be it a teacher, a lawyer, a professor, whoever you are. COVID-19 affected us in a lot of ways. Yeah. So it did affect us.
It did affect you.
Yes,
but during the lockdown, let me put it that way, some schools were organizing classes. Did you by any chance organize any classes for maybe kids in your environment or in your school?
I personally didn't, but my school did. Yeah, my school did organize vacation classes. My school did organize classes for the learners, and there were a lot of online classes as well. That both direct contact and then we had the online classes too. So schools organized a lot of classes actually during the break, the closure of schools.
Okay, Sarah.
Okay, so with me, I had the opportunity to record in a school to help organize these virtual classes. Really, we did it via Zoom, and then for that matter also Google Classroom, something like that. Yeah, so there was COVID-19, but we proceeded in continue the academic whatever for the term. We did.
Okay, that's good. And let me ask, what is the effect of the online classes? How effective is it compared to learning in the classroom?
Okay, so it has both negative and positive effect. For instance, someone may say it's very even difficult for you to teach, let's say, mathematics in the classroom. Compare that of teaching mathematics in the classroom and that of virtual. It is something else. It is something else. But then we also had the chance to move forward in terms of technology. So that was also the positive side of it all. Yes, actually, the school I had the opportunity to be part to organize these virtual classes. We encourage all students to be in uniform, but in their homes. They sit on their laptops or whatever gadget they are using to join the class via either Zoom or Google. Yes, they were in their uniforms, and then classes, yes, it was possible. We did it. Yes, so it also had a negative side. Sometimes you may be teaching, and then the learner will be doing his own thing. Sometimes some of them sleep. What will you do? So it has negative and then a positive side.
Okay, you said you did the online learning via Zoom. Now we have some kids whose parents are financially handicapped. Let me put it that way. And even some people don't have television sets in their homes. How do you think, what can you say about those kids?
Okay, so for what we did, we know not all of the parents will be able to afford either laptops or phones or any gadgets that will help them join this virtual classes. Now, we were advised to video record and audio record when we are teaching or when we are delivering, so that we put them on pen drives for the parent. So whether they have laptops or not, they can still have it, put it in their radio or whatever set they have. That may help them. Some will also put on memory chips for them to be put in their phones, just to play it for the child or for the learners to listen. So it was possible.
Madam Eva,
as good as that sounded, we are still in a part of the world where internet connectivity is a problem, and data is far way too expensive in our part of the world. And knowing that most of the kids couldn't partake, yeah, I know that the advanced schools like his were able to actually organize those. There were still issues of how difficult is it to control a kid you are teaching. Sometimes when I'm teaching, I have to keep mentioning a particular kid's name, that hey, you are disturbing, pay attention, do this. Or sometimes I have to move the kid from his or her position to come forward where I can effectively monitor that child. But here is the case where I'm doing it via Zoom. So how effective it is, and what was the parents' participation in it, especially in our part of the world, knowing that most parents, the few do, but most parents actually don't really show much interest. How many of them even come for PTA meetings, much less sit down to make sure that the child behind the PC or using the phone or the iPad or tablet is actually paying attention? No. So it did have some benefits, but I think on a majority the cons were much. I mean, the disadvantages were a lot.
Right, very interesting right here on the show. And we are still in the Eristic Room right here on Priana TV. Let's go on a quick commercial break. When we are back, we are going to give you more updates. Stay tuned.
for the best entertainment and education. Be sure to tune to the station that gives you more to beat your imagination. For fun and for pleasure, it's your destination. We are first in news. Yes, you juice, we pick your views. You don't want to lose all the toast and trails we bring to you. We take you to entertainment, loop the loops. We serve you with trendiest filler, dandiest thriller. Or there is a more, it's a fan-filled villa. Fashion talks, relationship talks, there's more. Idea, there's a great chinchilla. We got the best for you. We got the best for you. We serve you with honor. We leave the choice to you. To tune in and station to the best TV station is Priana.
Alright, welcome from that quick commercial break. We are still in the Eristic Room right here on Priana TV. Sarah, can you tell us the role of the community in the role
as far as COVID-19 is
as far as COVID-19 is concerned?
Yes. Now, when we talk about community, we include parents, we include religious leaders. Yes, I think this is the time we really have to work the institution. Now, for example, if parents are not ready to take the children to school, then we teachers cannot do anything. If the religious bodies, if our chiefs, if they don't help us, then there's nothing we can do. For instance, we have to encourage the children. Remember, they've been home for almost a year. Some of them may have gone into another thing or whatever. We still have to talk to them. They are psychological. Are they prepared? Psychologically, are they prepared to go back to school? These are all questions we have to answer before we be able to take our wards to school. So I think hand in hand, the religious organizations, chiefs, whatever, parents, they must all come together with the school and then help. This thing comes to pass. But if you say we are falling on only teachers to do their work, I think the work is going to be 30% done. But if we join hands and then we do it, we will do and then we will meet success.
Okay, let's go into the classrooms. Schools with larger numbers in classrooms. What measures have we put in place to make sure we observe social distancing in the class?
Okay, so I remember during the COVID-19, the Form 3s, that is the basic 9, were asked to go to schools for them to take their BEC. So the government gave some instructions with regards to the protocols. So the in class were reduced. The maximum should be 25 in class. That is the size that a class should take for proper COVID-19 protocols. So before even that, before a learner will enter the classroom, he or she might have observed washing, applying application of sanitizer before even entering the classroom. So I think this is also going to happen for this very school we are reopening. This very time too, the same COVID-19 protocols are going to be observed for us to have a better.
But in some schools, in a class, there could be 35 students in a class. And now here is the situation where we don't have more classrooms.
Facilities for them to be.
Yeah, so what are we going to do about that?
Okay, so I remember the Form PBs were 132 in number. And as at that time, a class would take 74 people. So imagine how is the split going to be? So like from above, the instruction that came, we were able to But then to the Form 2s, the Form 1, the primary, they were not in school. So we were able to divide the classes, seven classes.
And now that they are coming,
yes. So I think although we are not going to have that 25 in class as it is, but then I think management and then the school board will sit and plan to know the way forward and how they will reduce or they cut down the number in the classroom.
I do think for schools with larger numbers, he was talking about 100 and something plus. They could encourage outdoor learning they could create a classroom on the compound where it's not sunny, so that if, let's say, we have about 100 pupils in a class, you can get 50-50. Okay, I don't know what measures they have put in place. This is something I'm just suggesting. They can get a 50-50 and then make sure that there is proper social distancing. And for WHO came out with the kids that should wear mask. The child must wear mask, except children from 5 years and below are not expected to wear the face mask in class, but from 6 years upwards they are expected to wear the face mask in the classroom. Yeah, they have to put it on in the classroom so that the spread was minimized. I know there are some other countries too where they do alternating. They alternate, maybe a child comes to school today in the classroom to learn, and then tomorrow he won't come, he stays at home to do the online learning, and while the other batch comes. Okay, do you get it? So I don't know if the schools want to implement that, but if I'm talking for my school, we have quite the number is few, so we have the right measures in place. We have our social distancing. Today we were on the compound and we made sure that the kids, at least them, some level of social distancing can be set well.
And to even add to what she has said, I think the government has also made provisions as it is now for some schools. Now, those of the schools who are not going to benefit, I think it is on them to also decide what to do. Because remember, the government will just bring out that, but then if we don't implement it, it's going to work. So I think we are not supposed to sit and wait for the government to come and build or put structures for us before you observe the protocols. I think the management of schools, I'm talking in terms of the private schools, they will sit and then plan on what to do. I think that will also help.
We are still in the Eristic Room right here on Priana TV, and it's still about COVID-19 and reopening of schools. Now let's come to the risk. Let me begin with the teachers. We are going to be marking books and moving around the class while maybe lesson is ongoing, or during break when the students or the learners are on the compound playing. We are at high risk if we should be touching their books, okay, and then marking. We take this one's book, marking, though they go home and then come back, and we give them homework. So when they take the book home and then bring it back, don't you think teachers, we are also at high risk? Or let's say both students to
Okay. COVID-19 has come to stay, and yes, it's quite risky to have to be in such a position, but then I think with the correct adherence to the protocols of the COVID-19, the washing of hands regularly, the use of the hand sanitizer, you the teacher, if you have to stay if you know you are going close to a child, make sure that your mask is always on, and basically we will survive, because we don't have any other choice. We have to, so we just have to make sure that we observe the proper social distancing protocols. Is very important, because if we don't take time, we are going to end up having increased in this COVID-19 cases. Look at for boarding houses too. Boarders will be coming, and you know how crowded those places are. So the teachers are at risk, the teaching and non-teaching staff are at risk, the learners too. It's quite risky, but then we just have to make sure we observe the right protocols. The health workers have been doing it since the outbreak of the pandemic. So teachers will also have to do it, regardless of the risk.
So, for instance, with my school, when we went for meeting, we were told that each and every teacher will be given hand sanitizer. The classrooms will be given sanitizers, soap, water, and then also with regards to their break time. Now, break is going to be in badges. So, for example, if lower primary or if kindergarten, if it's break time, they will all come and then stretch for some minutes and move back. Then the next will be lower primary, from basic 1 to basic 3. They will also come out, they just stretch and then go out. Remember, the government has given instruction that there shouldn't be any religious gathering. So that one is out. So there isn't going to be any gathering. Now, when it comes to the marking of books, yes, we did it before. BEC, that time the COVID-19 was at its peak in Ghana. And we were through. We didn't record cases. Yes, so we can do same. Just that we have to comply and observe the protocols. When we are able to observe all the protocols, we wear our masks, we intermittent use of sanitizers, we wash our hands, I think it isn't going to be a problem. Remember too, we check our temperatures before. When we have suspected cases, we have isolation centers. In fact, all schools must and should have isolation center.
And I even, the government has marked every school to a health facility closer to it. So
with a nurse.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have COVID-19 ambassadors too in our respective schools.
Yeah.
So we must go to school. Our kids need to go to school. COVID-19 has come to stay, and we can't just say our kids won't go to school. No, they will surely go. We are still in the Eristic Room right here on Priana TV. Let's go for a quick commercial break. We'll be right. our parents out there some words of encouragement, because as at now, some of them, they don't want their kids to go back to school until they hear that there is 0 case. Their kids, I'm not sure they'll be coming to school. So any words of encouragement?
Okay, dear parents, you know, COVID-19 has come and it has come to stay. We are hoping that with the discovery of the vaccine, soon the government will put in place the appropriate measures to make sure that everybody is vaccinated. But in the meantime, the kids have to go back to school. We, the teachers, are going to make sure that we do our possible best to make sure that your child is protected while in school. COVID-19 is let's say it's a pandemic that is really disturbing, but then children are not really at a high risk. According to some figures I was looking at today, out of 10,000 cases, maybe we have about 8,000, which is for adults above the age of 65, and then people with underlying health issues. Children don't really fall within the high risk individuals who are at a risk once they don't have any underlying health conditions like breathing problems and whatever. But once they don't have it, they have to, please, you have to bring your child to school. It's even cheaper to take the child to school, because just imagine the online courses, the online classes, the data buying and all that. Now when they go back to school, you pay your fees and then they just get their daily the money that they use as canteen, the feeding, and then the rest, which is even in private schools, not the government sector. So it's very important that you have to make sure your child comes to school. We are pleading with you as teachers. Make sure they come to school.
All right, Sarah, any?
The government is encouraging everybody to heed to the instructions given. Every measure or all measures that is supposed to be put in place as far as COVID-19 is concerned has been made. So we beg all parents to take their wards to school. For we have done that, we did that safely, and we are going to do this safely.
Alright, thank you Sarah and Madam Eva for your time, and we are grateful for having you on the show today, and we hope the best comes out of it. And to our parents, our kids must return to school again, and government has placed every measure in place for them to be safe. So thank you for coming up on the show, and we're grateful for having you once again. And it's still the Eristic Room right here on Priana TV. I urge you all to subscribe to our YouTube channels, like our Facebook pages as well. The Eristic Room, provoking your thoughts. Priana TV, watch all you want. Thank you.
For the best entertainment and education, be sure to tune to the station that gives you motivate your imagination. For fun and for pleasure, it's your destination. We are first in news, news you juice, we pick your fuse. You don't want to lose all the choice and thrills we bring to you. We take you to entertainment, loop the loops. We serve you with trendiest filler, dandiest thriller. Or there is some more, it's a fan-filled villa. Fashion talks, relationship talks, there's more. Idea, there's a great chinchilla. We got the best for you, we got the best for you. We serve you with honor, we leave the choice to you. To tune in and station to the best TV station, that's Priana. Keep watching Priana TV. Priana TV, watch all you want. The name of the year.